sonatine. There you go. We'll work on it. Do your alston etude first then, Grace, yeah? And a little bit of your solo.
About your really long musical phrases. I'm hearing the dynamics come across, which is really nice. I think I want to talk just a little bit about tone. How would you describe your tone and some of the things you're working on with tone right now? Well, so I don't like to talk in like good or bad, right? There's a lot of things that you're doing very well that are very good. And then there's certain things I think that we can open up just a little bit more. So do you ever feel, especially when you're rising in your register, like maybe you're hitting a little bit of a wall, your hair is hitting a wall, and you're feeling like you're having to blow a little more? Have you ever experienced that? Has anybody ever felt that? So when we experience that, it's usually because our air actually is hitting some sort of wall, and then we get a fuzzy sound. So do you mind if we try moving around the head joint a little bit on your bottom lip to see if we can open up your sound, especially on our higher notes? So I'm going to have you play a D to try these things out. So go ahead and play a high D for us in your normal position. There you go. Do you hear just a little bit of the air surface noise on the top of that? Do you hear a little bit of air in addition to the flute sound? So I'm going to try a couple of things. You go up and stay in your playing position. I'm going to move your head joint, move your tone hole down just a little bit so that it's a little bit lower on your bottom lip. And then I'm going to roll you out just a little bit. Can you try that same D? Did that sound different out there? Do we hear a little bit less of the air sound? Does that feel really different? Yeah. I'm going to try now moving you up. I'm rolling you right here. Can you try that D again? Oh, was that louder out there too? Yeah, that was a really nice open sound. Does it feel like you still have that resistance pushing against your sound? Or did it feel more open and free that time? More open? Good. So starting from that position, let's start on the D. And can you keep going up for me? So we're going to go D, E, F, G. In that same spot we were in a minute ago. So we're going to move you down just a little bit, and I'm going to roll you out. And I think the big thing is the rolling you out just a little bit in this register. So I'm going to help you by holding it right here. Her hands are really trying to roll in on me right now. That's why I'm holding the end of the flute. So try your D. Did that sound more open and less fuzzy? It's nice and loud right here. It's very expressive. So I'm gonna let go. Do your hands want to bring it back in? Yeah. So I would experiment with a slightly more open setup to get this open sound. And if your hands are really comfortable being back here, then you don't have to change hand position at all. We could just roll you out a little bit when you go to set up your flute. Can I take a look at where we just moved it? So when you put your flute together, do you check your tone hole to see how it's lined up with the body of your flute? Yeah. You do? And where do you usually line it up? Right in line with that first key. Okay. So everybody, because of the size and the shape of our hands, everybody can actually set up their tone hole in a slightly different spot to get something that works nicely for them. Now, let me see your hands right here. Go ahead and put your hands up to my hands. I think you have long fingers. So look at her fingers compared to mine. Do you see how much longer her fingers are? So because of my short fingers, I roll mine just slightly inward so that I can reach the keys and get an open sound. Because you have such long fingers, you could actually open up a little bit more and still very comfortably reach the keys to get that sound. So as we get older, when we first start in band, we all start in a big group, right? And we all set it up in the same spot. And then as we get older and the more we practice, we realize everybody's gonna do something a little bit different to find the sound that really works for them. So I have you, go ahead and look and see where we moved it to, 2 minutes. See how we're outside just a little bit now? So with that setup, go ahead and go back into your playing position. Hopefully now you won't have to feel like you're rolling your hands out at all to get that open sound. Try your D, E, F natural G one more time. Good, and now try moving it down on your bottom lip back to where we had you just a second ago. There you go. That was really, really nice. So I would keep working with this idea to find that spot, and sometimes we find that in the high register we want to be more open to get that open sound, and then we can go back to the other spot when we're in the low register too. But I really like this openness. Do you guys like that resonant sound in her high register that she's getting?
And do you guys hear why I tell you to roll out constantly all the time? Do you hear the difference now from someone else?
It's amazing how we can hear it. Do you stand here and do this as well?
I do everything.
All the
I have that
time.
flute tutor thing that Kathy Blocky
that's
invented.
great.
You have to get one if
It's
you don't
great.
have one.
I do. Yeah.
And
those
the
are
shelf
great.
that I
So
And the shelf
keep
that
working
she's
with it.
got.
If you're fighting against it, we
A
can
little
just try to
forward, Barney. Just a little bit.
Really nice work.
Yeah,